What's up guys, Alec Torelli here. Here's the deal. It's Sunday and I really felt like playing poker. My next Hustler stream is not till Wednesday, so be sure to check out Hustler on Wednesday. I'll be there. Also, if you want a piece of my action, consciouspoker.com. It's going out to my newsletter subscribers first. You can buy a piece of me in upcoming games. But I really felt like playing poker, and I'm lucky and blessed to be in a place where it's 30 minutes to get to the nearest casino. So I check Bravo, the app, I see there's a 10-20 game running. It's the biggest game running in SoCal. So I go to the Commerce, and by the time I get here, there's a list. And the game also looks bad, and I'm like, I don't know, don't want to be here and don't want to wait. So I'm going down to Hawaiian Gardens, which is kind of on the way home, and I'm going to explore what action is there. So let's see if we can find some better games. All right, so I made it to Hawaiian Gardens. Unfortunately, the biggest game running is 5-10. So here's what I'm gonna do. Don't tell anyone, but I'm going to just take the most aggressive line in every spot to practice random plays that I don't want to test out when it's 50K on the line at a high stakes game like the Hustler, but I want to see if things work. So this is a fun time, and I always tell this to clients, experiment when you're playing small and just go have fun. And I really feel like playing poker. Of course, with you guys, it'll be fun to make a vlog too, so that's part of it. But I'm just gonna try the most aggressive line in every spot and see what works. So we're gonna have a huge high variance session, at least given the size of the game. And let's go. Hands are starting right now. All right, I had no idea what was in store for me in this 5-5-10 game, but it is super crazy. There's a bounty, first of all. So if you win 2 pots in a row, you win $25 from every player. This, of course, incentivizes a ton of action because in a 5-5-10 game, you could win basically $200 for winning 2 pots in a row. So if you win the first pot, you're always playing the second hand. Also, there is a bomb pot played, which I'll walk you through in a second, which basically means that the dealer deals everyone in and then deals the flop, and everyone antes $25, and then action starts to the left of the dealer, and you basically play the hand post-flop with anyone able to have any 2 cards. That happens every time there's a new player that sits down, and it also happens whenever there's a dealer change. So there is a ton of action in this game. It is very fun for people that just kind of want to get in there, spin it up, and gamble. The buy-in is also $300 to $800, which is pretty shallow for a poker game, and people love to come in with $300 and spin it up to $5K. In fact, when I sat down at the table, one guy ran up a stack from, he was in 4,000, so he was buying in multiple times, but he ran up a stack up to 10,000 in this game, so it is pretty ridiculous. Anyway, the first hand kicks off, and it is literally my first hand at the table because I'm a new player. I sit down, and we deal a bomb pot in honor of a new player sitting. So I get dealt King Jack with the Jack of Spades, and the flop comes Queen 9-3 with 2 spades. It gets checked all around. The turn is the 10 of spades, giving me a straight with a Jack high flush draw, and second position bets 150, and it's folded to me. I'm in 5th position or so, and you would think like, oh, this is a great hand. I have a straight with a flush draw. Like, let's pile in money here. I bought in the max 800. But actually, this is not really a great spot. Like, he's betting into 7 or 8 other players. He can have literally any 2 spades in his hand. He can have queen or whatever, king deuce of spades, or like, 8-4 of spades. Like, any 2 spade combos is in his range because he was dealt in pre-flop and forced to see the flop. So betting into 8 other players when any flush is possible, I really don't like my hand that much. I'm basically like bluff catching or maybe hoping to hit a spade on the river. Anyway, I call and everyone else folds. The river comes a 6 of clubs, and now he bets 325. And in spots like these, I'm kind of just relying on, maybe he's betting a set, maybe he's betting 2 pair, maybe he's overplaying his hand, not really thinking about these sorts of things. And so I call. He has Jack 8 for a lower straight, and I scoop myself my very first pot. The rest of the session is pretty much an all-in fest. I had an incredibly sick roller coaster swingy session, and this kind of is a testament to this type of game. I really only played 3 hours or so, but pretty much every hand I found myself all in. So hand number 2, I raise on the button. The big blind is a bounty, meaning he could win $25 per player if he wins this hand. So he's going to be playing every single hand. This also basically changes the pre-flop dynamic because people are raising to like 50, 60, 70 pre-flop because they know that the bounty, if they're in the pot, is going to play any 2 cards. Also, the bounty always limps. So like, if they have whatever 9-5 offsuit under the gun, they're limping for 10 because they could, again, win 200. So basically there's 200 dead in the pot for them, so they're calling 10 to win a pot of 225 or whatever the pot is plus the blinds. So they're calling with any two hands. So this changes the whole dynamic of the game. This is definitely a fun game, but the strategy kind of goes out the window. There is still strategy, but it's crazy. Anyway, I raise on the button to 60 after a limp, and the bounty makes it 250. I call on the button with Queen Jack offsuit, which I'm not in love with, but again, he has 200 dead in the pot. He could be playing any two cards. I call, the flop comes Jack 10-4 with a flush draw. He bets 400. I jam about 1300. He snap calls, and he says I have a straight draw. The turn is a 4.
One time. I got this. Bicycle. Nice hand.
You hear it again?
So tilt.
And on the river, of course, I know I'm dead because all the straight draws or pairs got there. He shows the Queen 9 of diamonds, and I click the rebuy button.
Good, I really should.
Chips.
The next hand comes up. I'm stuck, but still hopeful. There's a straddle to 20. Mid position makes it 80. I call in the big blind with 10-9 of spades, and the straddle calls. The flop comes Jack of spades, 7 of hearts, 5 of spades, check to the razor. He bets 240. I make it 800. He jams 1400. I call. The turn is a 10, and he says I need hearts. So at this point, I'm like, maybe he has ace king of hearts or something, and I'm good. The river comes a 5. I turn over my pair of 10s, and he says Queen Jack of hearts, and I'm stuck more. I click the rebuy button once more, and we're off to the races.
Chips.
At this point, they let me rebuy a little bit deeper. I think they just felt bad. They enjoyed that I was vlogging, and they're like, all right, let's let this guy get unstuck. So I rebuy, I think, up to 2K at this point, 1,500, 2K. Under the gun raises. He's a solid player, so he's like one of the guys who's actually playing tight, solid, like normal poker at the table. He raises to 50 under the gun, which is a big raise, and I just call with queens, hoping to trap someone behind me. I think there's a bounty behind me in this hand, and people are just like re-raising and piling in and just doing stupid shit. So I call in third position. I also think re-raising him and isolating this player looks pretty strong, so I just call. Another person calls. The small blind makes it 300. The guy that just had Queen 9 of diamonds against me and busted me, he makes it 300. He has like a 10K stack. The razor under the gun folds, which is great. He doesn't pile it in and put me in a tough spot. I back raise to 800. He jams. Of course, I call it off. He has ace king, and we run it out. And here's what happens.
I have to win one. I have to win one. Come on. Woo! Okay, now I got chips. Thank you. Yeah, obviously just lucky.
I win myself a nice pot, and now I'm up to 4K at this point. I'm actually still stuck here at this point, but I feel like, okay, I'm one hand away from breaking even, and there is hope for me. Let's keep going. Next hand, the button, who's a crazy loose aggressive player, makes it 55. I call in the small blind with Jack 10 offsuit, and I have the bounty. So I know this is not some great call, but I could win $200 extra if I win this pot. So I call with Jack 10 offsuit, of course, with the bounty. Both the blinds behind me call, which they're going to do with pretty much anything. When the bounty's in the pot, the way this game plays is the other people in the hand just play defense. They just like defend so that you don't win the bounty, right? So they're calling with anything. The flop comes King Queen 3 with 2 clubs. I flop open-ended. Checks to the button. He bets 60. I make it 340, and the other 2 players fold, and now he shoves for 780. So of course I'm priced in at this point. I was hoping he was just gonna like bet fold with like ace high or like an under pair or maybe a queen. He shoves 780. I call, and I think he wanted to run it twice. But basically what happens is with the bounty, you have to win the first run out in order to win the bounty. So we run it twice. And the first run out, I break. He wins the first run out, but I do hit an ace on the second run out, and I chop this pot, which I'm very grateful for. I'm still stuck about 1,000 at this point, and we'll continue to go all in. So the next hand comes up against the same guy that I just played this last hand with Jack 10. This is maybe like a half hour later, like a few things happened, but nothing too crazy. I open under the gun with 9s to 40. I just make like a normal raise, like I have actually a reasonable hand. It goes call, call. And this guy in the big blind is famous for just shipping it in. Like, he'll notice all this dead money in the pot, and he just ships it. So it'll be like, 40, 40, 40 call, he shoves for 800. And he's done this like 4 or 5 times, and nobody's ever caught him. So now he ships it for 1,080. And I'm like, finally, I actually have something. So I call with 9s. Normally this won't be like a great spot for me when he's shipping 100 big blinds cold, but like he's been doing this so often that I feel like 9s is a monster. So I call, the other 2 players fold. He has ace 9 of spades, so I'm actually in amazing shape. At this point, the guy is buried, and I feel bad for the guy. So I'm like, look, let's run it twice. No bounty in this hand, so I really don't care what's going on. But we run it twice, and the first board he flops a flush draw. You can see it comes jack high with a spade. I managed to fade that on the first board, and then on the second board, fade the ace and the flush completely, and I scoop myself a nice pot. All right, another big hand here. Shocker. We have a straddle on, and we have a guy makes it 40 and someone calls. I am in the bounty in one of the blinds. I make it 240 and call. I have ace king, great spot, hoping to hit. The flop comes down king jack 7 with a diamond draw. I go ahead and bat out like 260. The guy immediately jams all in for like 2,500. Guy folds. I beat him in the pot, of course, with my ace king, feeling like I'm good. The turn comes a 10, which is not a good card. I'm not loving this spot. And I say, look, in this spot, I'm like, what do I need here, right?
All in, 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 all in. I don't know what I need.
My best.
Oh, thank God. Thank you. I didn't know what I needed.
Things are crazy, swings are wild. I win myself a nice pot, and I'm up at this point. At this point, there is a Cambodian Miss Universe pageant happening at the Hawaiian Gardens. Don't ask why, I have no idea. But there is, like, I've experienced a lot of things in a poker room over my years, but this is arguably, I mean, the pageant, I'm sure it was great and cool, but this guy is going around like banging this bass drum together, and it is so loud. Like, you can't even hear the players talking at the table, and this is literally going on for like 15, 20 minutes. At this point, I'm just so tilted. Like, I hate loud noise, like maybe unless I'm in a nightclub or something. I'm like, just really, this is like very frustrating to me. So I'm about to quit in this game. I finally got unstuck, and I'm like playing my last orbit, and I get dealt ace king with the king of hearts, and this new player sits down, and somehow he ran it up to 2K, right? So it's my bounty in this hand as well, right? So I'm like playing through my bounty, because if I win this pot, I win an extra 200. So I straddle to $20 on my bounty because it's just kind of convenient to straddle because you force yourself to be in the pot instead of having to like limp or raise under the gun. So I straddle to 20, 3 people limp, including this guy, and I wake up with ace king. So I make it 240, like it's just a huge raise because if I take down the pot, I'm happy, and if not, like whatever, I have ace king, let's play. So everyone folds except the last limper, okay, the guy that just sat down at the table. The flop comes 7-3 deuce, all hearts. I have ace king with ace of hearts, so I'm like, okay, good flop, you know, like this favors me, like good spot. I bet 140, just kind of like a small feeler bet, see what happens. I could start betting on later streets. If he calls, I could rep on later streets. If he raises me, I could jam, whatever. He just instantly ships it all in. So I'm like, all right, well, okay, of course I call. I got 2 overs and a flush draw, and a backdoor straight draw, like, let's go. I call, the turn comes a 9 off suit, and the river comes an off suit 6. And I'm like, okay, I'm probably not gonna win this hand. That's frustrating. Like, I've had all these outs, and I bricked, and I'm just kind of like, damn it, like, I'm about to leave. I'm finally up like 1K, and like, I just end up playing a 4K pot, like, and I just miss everything, and like, that's tilting.
Annie, I just have one pair.
It's good.
And I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe he had 7-8 of spades and just ships it in. I show ace king, and I'm like, look, you're good. He shows the queen 6 of clubs. No pair, no draw, no backdoor draw, like no equity, and somehow I lose to this hand. And that was like, you know, I'm like trying, you know, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to make the vlog for you guys.
That's retarded. Nice hand.
That is very tilting. Like, of all the hands to show me pocket 5s with a heart so I don't feel that bad. You show me, he ships it with queen 6 of clubs. I'm like, fuck my life. So now I'm like, all right, now I'm stuck again. Now I'm stuck like 1,500, and I'm like, all right, I can't leave now because I'm like, now I'm stuck. These Tamborini guys with the fucking Cambodian pageant are like winding down. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play one more hand and get unstuck. So the last hand happens, and there's a straddle to 20 and a straddle to 40. So the same guy that just stacked me with queen 6 straddles to 40. I'm on the button with king 5 of hearts, And I'm like, all right, I make it 160. The small blind calls, the big blind calls, and this guy calls in the double straddle. Okay, the flop comes amazingly, king 5-4 with 2 spades. It checks to me, and I'm like, someone's got something. I don't need to like down bet here, balance here. I don't need to do any of that. I just pile in 400. Pretty strong bet. One guy folds. The next guy instantly ships it in for like 1500. The straddle to 40 folds. I call. He turns over. He says, "I need a 3."
All right, let's go, buddy.
I need a 3.
One time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you need a 3 on this board? Anyway, he turns over the jack deuce of spades. The turn comes a queen. The river blanks off. I scoop myself a nice pot, and I end up booking the win on this session.
I always get that stupid fucking king. Nice on the over.
Yeah. I had a good hand. All right, I win my bounty, go home.
So my thoughts on this game, and you can see this session here. I'm sorry there's not like a ton of strategy in this game. Sure, you want to play strong hands and strong ranges and like, you know, play solid poker and you know, sit back and whatever. But like, it's not a game like that. You can see here, like, I was, you know, going there with no agenda, just to document these hands and like try and produce some cool strategy. Let me know in a comment below if you like this kind of vlog, because this is a fun action all-in fest. If you want a lot of action and all-in and stuff like that, and like kind of more gambling style of poker, this game is for you. If not, if you want to play normal poker, it's probably not for you. Let me know in the comment below if you like this vlog. Subscribe to this channel. I'm also putting out more content on consciouspoker.com, free newsletter for you guys, and my hand reading system that I use in every hand I play, where I walk you through how to break down hands in a linear step-by-step order to improve your game and take it to the next level. Finally, on my consciouspoker.com, on my newsletter, giving out access to people as a thank you for you guys and your support to buy a piece of me in future Hustler live stream games. I'm gonna be selling some of my action, no markup. This is just a thank you for you guys, so you can sweat me on my journey and get you know, take a piece of the action. Hopefully that'll help you win too. So anyway, thanks for your support. Check out my final thoughts and wrap this up. See you guys in the next one. All right, I'm back. End of the session. I played like 3 hours. I won 1675, which was great because I was like stuck 3K at one point. The game is super swingy. I mean, it's supposed to be a $300 to $800 buy-in, but it is insanely swingy. It's not like real poker. There is some strategy, but pre-flop raises are insane. It goes 5 ways to every flop. There's a bounty. There's a bomb pot. There's like, you know, just chips are splashing around so much, and there's always multi-way to the pot. Everyone's defending against the bounty. That it's really fun if you want to just like gamble and just kind of like spin it up. But if you're looking to play like normal, solid strategy, like fundamental thinking poker, it's not that game. So it depends on what you're looking for, but it was a crazy game. I had a lot of fun. The coolest thing about it is like me in this point, like I'm playing these games to have fun, and I had a lot of fun because the energy was really cool, the people were really cool, and everyone was just having a good time talking, laughing, playing, and there to gamble. And to me, that makes the poker game more fun. So I really enjoyed it. Maybe I'll be back. Let me know if you like this vlog in a comment below. If you like this format, I'll do more of them. And subscribe to the channel. More awesome content's coming. I'll see you guys next week on Hustler, and thanks for your attention. See ya.